Hello, and welcome back to Legacy of Leaders, where we interview the brightest and most interesting leaders in our community, and today is no different. I'm your host, Whitney Mincey, joined by a very special guest, Mr. Larry Adkins, the CEO of ACBS Insurance Services. Welcome.
Well, thank you. Nice to be here, Whitney.
Yes, I'm so glad to have you here, and it's so timely as well, but we'll get into that. First of all, for those that don't know about ACBS, tell us about your company, what you guys do, who you help.
Yeah, so ACBS Insurance Services really is here to help individuals make the right health insurance choices for themselves, especially when it comes to Medicare planning and turning age 65.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bet that is a time where people get really confused and they don't know what to do anymore, right?
Yeah, there's so many options out there, so many carriers. They get misinformation on the internet, they get misinformation throughout commercials they see on TV with famous actors that they think are their agents. And really, there's a lot of stuff out there that we don't necessarily care for, but we have to help our clients wade through the misinformation to get to the right products and services for them.
Mm-hmm. And so, as I mentioned, it's very timely that you're here today because there is a very important date coming up in the near future. So tell us about this.
Yeah, so we're coming up every year after you turn age 65, you have to re-enroll, either remain in your existing plan or you go to a new plan. So the enrollment period goes from October 1st through December 15th, and that's called the annual enrollment period. Mm-hmm. That time frame is coming up very shortly.
Yes.
So starting in August, we start to work with our customers to really help them start to write down any changes that they've had medically in the last year, whether it's to prescriptions that they're taking, physicians that they're seeing, medical facilities, whether it's a hospital or a local medical group that may have come in or out of their network, and any changes that the government, CMS, has announced. This is going to be a really big year, and there's a lot of changes that were announced from the federal government, which are going to affect all the plans that most individuals have.
Yeah. And I can imagine there's someone here watching, they're about to turn 65, they're hearing that there are changes happening, so they can't refer to family or friends about how they did things. So what would be the process for them to reach out to you, start working with you?
Yeah, absolutely. There's a bunch of ways to interact with us. Number one, you can call us here at ACBS Insurance Services, and we'll be glad to take your phone call. Mm-hmm. You can attend one of our webinars that we have that's educational only. Mm-hmm. And then after you've attended that webinar, you can sign up for our one-on-one 1-hour consultation, which can walk through those decisions with you and help you understand which would be the best options for you given your current health and economic situation.
Mm-hmm. So you just mentioned webinar. I'm really interested about that. What can someone expect if they choose to attend one of these?
Yeah, so if you attend one of our webinars, first and foremost, you're going to get educated on what is Medicare, what is covered, what is not covered, what are the loopholes, what are the things that you really need to be concerned with if you travel, if you don't travel, and really understanding all the options that are available to you to help you make a better educated decision when it comes to your health care.
Mm-hmm. What do you think the biggest misconception is when it comes to all of this?
Well, I think people are just overwhelmed when it comes to choosing medical coverage. I think about my own personal situation with my group plan. To go through that 25 page book on what it covers, what it doesn't, is very overwhelming and daunting. Yeah. And especially as you get older in age, it becomes more complicated because the medicines that you take are more expensive, and the hospital that is in your local area, if it's not in your network, that could be a major problem. Or what happens if you travel to different areas throughout the year? Are you covered or not covered?
Oh, yeah.
And so there's
think about that.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things that you need to really take into account before you make that decision. And so we're coming up on the annual enrollment period, which lasts from October 1st through December 7th. And then starting January 1st to March 15th, you have the ability, if you chose a plan, to change that plan, because maybe you found out a doctor left a network, or maybe you found out that a prescription is no longer covered under that plan. You've got another around 45 days, 50 days that you can actually make a change, and then you're locked into that plan throughout the rest of the year.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for being here, Larry. It's very Very important for people to be educated, and I think you guys do a great job with that. And if you want to learn more, make sure that you sign up for one of these webinars so you can get all of the information that you need. So thank you very much for being here today.
Well, thanks for having me, Whitney. I appreciate it.
Yes, absolutely. If you want to learn more about Larry, ACBS, and possibly sign up for one of the upcoming webinars, make sure you head over to dailynewsnetwork.com. All of their information will be listed there, and we will see you next time on Legacy of Leaders.